What's up, guys? Welcome back. Happy New Year. I'm so excited to be here and filming this video. I thought that it would be fun to just do a chatty get ready with me video, old school style, and I'll answer some of your questions, but also just kind of go over like where my mind is at for the new year, what my goals are, and just kind of talk all things New Year specific. So I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and let's get started. I'm filming in my bathroom today because my filming room where I film all my videos is filled with all of my Christmas decor. So we're in here today. And I kind of like it. It's kind of a vibe. If you want more videos in here, let me know. So I'm gonna start with my face. If I don't say the product that I'm using, just check the description box. But I'm just using a lot of the same stuff that I always use, so it's nothing crazy. And I need to move my hair out of my face because this is not gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna start by answering like why I stopped posting videos during Vlogmas. Really no dramatic answer other than life happened. I took an intended weekend break, which I knew going into it. I was like, I don't know if I should do this because I was on the right track and I was really enjoying it and I wasn't burnt out or anything. Like I really did want to keep posting videos, but like Christmas time is so busy and I don't know why every year I think that it's going to be like a really chill, calm time, but especially like the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas, it's just a lot of stuff that you have to do. So that's just kind of what happened. When I tried to pick it back up, it was like there was like 5 million things that I had to do in my personal life. And yeah, it's a lot. So that's pretty much it. I did pick up the camera again after I took that little break, or that intended little break. And the day that I did that, I ended up getting another migraine episode, which this was equivalent to how bad they were years ago. So that's a whole topic for a separate video. But basically, at the end of the night of having that migraine, I was laying on my bathroom floor here, just like about to throw up and in so much pain, and it took me out for actually like a few days afterwards. I called off my workout the next day that I had planned with my trainer, and I had like a cookie party that weekend, and I was just like, I don't even think I got ready for it. That migraine took me out. So that happened during all this, but mainly like I had a lot going on, and so I just put my family first, and then it just kind of turned out that like vlogging just kind of wasn't possible. So that's all that happened. But I'm excited for the new year. I just feel like this comes with a lot more chill energy, and I'm ready for it. I'm excited to just jump back into my routines because I thrive off of routine. So yeah, I'm just excited that the holidays are over, just because, I mean, while I enjoy them, and this was actually a very great Christmas, we had a wonderful time. The last couple years weren't the best just because someone was always sick, or, you know, there was always something the last couple years, but this year was like really fun and chill and I enjoyed it. But with that, I'm still excited that they're kind of over just because it's a lot of work and there's a lot of things. And, oh gosh, I just have a hair here. There's 3 different days that we celebrate Christmas. And then the day after Christmas is my birthday. And then a few days later is my mom's birthday. So there's just a lot. And then there's New Year's. So, with all of that, there's like planning and wrapping and all the things. So yeah, that's all. That's really the only update of why I stopped posting. But also, I think that the feedback of like, where are you? Like, what's going on? Are you okay? It kind of took me off guard because even when I started this, I was like, we'll see how it goes. I think I can do it. I think I can, but we'll see. I kind of put that out there before I even started, just to let you guys know, like, I'm scared to do it, but I'm gonna try, instead of like, I don't know. So I guess that just like the concern of my well-being took me off guard, because I thought it was like known that like the possibility of me not doing it fully was a big possibility, or just a possibility. So I don't know. I guess that just like took me off guard. And if you're not following me on Instagram, check me out there because I gave a lot more updates over there than I did on YouTube. It's a lot easier to update over there than it is here, but yeah. Lately, I have been not doing cream contouring because I don't know, it's just like not sitting well on my face. I feel like it makes the other products like not sit nicely, at least right now. I don't know, I feel like my face is going through a phase. So I'm taking just some face powder and putting that all over. And then I'll go in with powder bronzer, and it seems to be working a lot more nicely. Vlogmas. This is the last little bit that I'll say on Vlogmas. With all of that being said, I'm still really proud of myself for posting 10 videos. They were 10 videos in a row. I'm proud of myself for that. And 10 videos in a month is still a lot of content. That's on average, I think it was like 2.5 videos a week. That's a lot. Most people that create videos on YouTube do one video a week. So to do 10 in the month, that's a lot of content. So I'm very proud of myself for that. Yeah, that's all I've got. That's all I've got for you. I asked you guys some questions on Instagram about the new year because I kind of wanted to just get an idea of where your mind is at, share where my mind is at, and kind of go from there. I think that this is always a nice little, not necessarily a fresh start. Well, it is a fresh start, but it's just a nice like stopping point to kind of gauge what's going on, what's working well, what's not, and whatever. And this is the first year that I'm going into the new year with such a nice, fresh perspective. I don't know, like it's almost every year I go into it feeling like I need to change like a bunch of stuff, and I have like this transformation that I want to make. I have all these goals, but they're like this ideal person that I want to be is just so far from who I am. And like, I felt like that for the majority of last year. And it wasn't until like, I would say like June, July, August that I really started to feel more like myself. And I think I came to the realization that like, that will be a forever process. I'm going to be ever changing. And I don't know, I just have this like peace within myself, and I'm happy with who I am right now while also striving to be better. And with that, I made so many changes, so many small, consistent changes over 2022 that now where I'm at, I feel like those changes that I made have stuck with me, and I've been consistent with them to where I don't feel like all of these new goals that I have are just so unattainable and that I'm trying to be a different person. I feel like I'm just trying to add on to who I am, and it doesn't seem like so daunting. And I don't know, it's just like this is the first year where I really have felt that way, and I feel like just at peace, which is just so new for me. So it's very exciting, and I don't know, I'm just in a really good place. So I'm very happy about that because most years do not start out that way for me. And a lot of times like my new year kind of happens in the fall. I feel like I like become reborn again every fall. I don't know why. But like end of summer to fall, I'm like crouching down because the mirror's behind me and I need to see from far away. So I don't know. I think that like I like doing like a half year check-in too, because it's good to analyze and see like what's doing well, what isn't, how are we feeling. And I feel like that's kind of like my summer fall check-in, and this is kind of like my new year check-in. But yeah, with all that being said, I asked you guys a lot of questions over on Instagram, and I'm gonna go over them and then share what my goals are. Let me bronze up my neck because look at my hands compared to my face. I was gonna put on a spray tan, and I was just not in the mood because after this I'm literally gonna go to the gym, and I just don't want to smell like self-tanner, so I'll self-tan tomorrow. I asked you guys on Instagram, what content do you like to see from me and what do you want to see more from me? And the overwhelming response of like either vlogs, lifestyle, and a lot of you guys even said like whatever you put out, I like. It has made me feel so just, I can't even put it into words. I am so thrilled, overjoyed, and happy because anytime I've said that question before in the past, 99% of the answers are makeup tutorials, which I love doing those things, but I have changed in the 10 years that I've had my channel. So to only do that has always felt like I put myself in a box, and then I never had like the guts to like really make any changes. I always like made an excuse for why I couldn't do content that I really enjoyed doing. And by doing that, it made it so that I didn't enjoy makeup anymore, which is stupid because it sounds, every time I talk about it, it sounds so dumb. But with that, this year, especially from like that July, August, September time frame, I really just started putting out the content that I wanted to, or just dabbling and playing around and trying new things. And now I'm just so glad that you guys love that content too, because before then, so many people told me like, I only want makeup, that's it. And now just to see the overwhelming response be like, I like lifestyle vlogs and whatever, it just makes me so happy, and I just feel really free. And it actually makes me more excited about like makeup stuff too, because it's like, I don't know, I just feel like I almost had to put myself out there and take that risk, and it's working, and I am just so happy. And I'm glad that you guys are liking the content. So I do have some like new fresh ideas for the new year that I'm not going to share because I tend to overshare things, and then if they don't happen, then I feel like I've like let you down. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it and surprise you. So yeah, some like new fresh content ideas that I've never done before. So I'm excited to try new things. I asked on there, like, do you guys go on YouTube more, Instagram, TikTok? Like, what's your most used platform? And YouTube and Instagram was 50-50. And then there was like 1% that was TikTok. So that makes my heart happy. Because I just like, I truly think that TikTok might be a phase. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But I think YouTube is really here to stay. So I enjoy putting my efforts here. Especially because this is where the magic started, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna open up my goals and we can just kind of chit chat about them. So one of the first things I have on there is hobbies, because for the longest time I've prioritized just work to the point where like I would cancel like family things because I'd have to like film a video, or I would be working with a brand and I had a deadline and I didn't know how to balance them. And then 2020 happened, and I feel like I'm just now kind of starting to feel the shift that 2020 brought, because a lot of brands started working with people on TikTok more so. So that has been a huge shift for me, because I'm just like not on TikTok. I'm not doing short form content that much. And because of that, like, and on top of it, last year I went through a lot of changes within myself to where I just wasn't really posting on social media for like half the year very consistently. So now I am excited to like put more focus on work more than I have last year. But I think I'm coming to like a nice place of balance, because all of the years leading up to 2020, I was so focused on work and put that first. And then with like what happened last year, I just did like the complete opposite and just like prioritized my mental health and like my physical health. So now just kind of finding that balance, and I just feel excited to balance that out. And with that comes hobbies, because I had to Google what like different hobbies were. I know that sounds silly, but just like, what is a hobby? What is something that I enjoy doing outside of work that has nothing to do with work and fitness? Even though fitness is probably like working out's probably a hobby, especially this class that I'm going to is like a cardio class that I really enjoy. And I'd say that's a hobby. I thoroughly enjoy that. And I really enjoyed kickboxing, and I'd like to get back into that again. It's just so expensive. And I enjoy reading and cooking. And I find that with cooking a lot of the time, I love like my simple, easy, basic meals, but I want to prioritize time to like set aside so that I can pour myself like either a glass of wine or, you know, make myself some bone broth or whatever, and just like put on an apron, put on some like cooking music, some jazz, and just like zone out and make it an experience instead of like, oh, what am I gonna have for dinner? Because I do enjoy cooking. I enjoy that process, and I enjoy like feeling so just like when I'm cooking. And so I want to do that more instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry. What am I gonna make for dinner? I didn't plan for this. You know what I mean? I want it to be more of a fun experience. So that is a goal. That's kind of like a silly goal, but that's fine. This is looking very contoury. Let me... Oh, I really want to learn a new language. Spanish has always been really top on my list because Ruben's dad's first language is Spanish, and it would be awesome for our kids to be bilingual. However, that's still a goal of mine. I just feel overwhelmed. I know it's doable, but for right now, I feel very overwhelmed. So I think I'm going to start with sign language. Hold on, my sister's FaceTiming me.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you continuing right now?
You can tell me really quick.
Hi, friends.
One thing that I always wanted to do was buy locally with my food, and I have done that better, but I want to do it even more. So I need to put my phone in Do Not Disturb. I did that a lot this past year, but I want to do it even more so coming up now. I'm finding like a place to get eggs locally, my beef I'd like from a local farmer, my produce. My mother-in-law and myself are going to be doing a garden. I'm so excited, and we're building a greenhouse at her house. I'm so excited because I'm so new with all of that, and I think it'll be nice. It'll be a lot nicer to like do it with someone else and learn together than it just be this daunting task. And I don't have the space for like a greenhouse. I don't have the space to put plants inside. I'm so minimal with like my decor. You guys know that. So I don't want any of that in my house. So I'm just glad that like we're doing it there, and like she's got the space. So I am so excited about that. So that will help with like being more local. What else? Feminine things. I want to be more natural overall. Makeup is so far down on the list, but like certain products I'm using that I'm switching some of my products to like unscented. I'm switching cleaning products so that they're like unscented. Like I got those Norwex rags because I can just use that with water and clean with the rag. So that's been a really nice switch that I've made last year that I need to like continue working on this year. Trying not to burn candles, things like that. And the number one thing is switching to a cup instead of tampons. That has been the hardest. That's been the most difficult. So it's kind of like trial and error because you have to find one that works the best for you. So the one that I've been using has been giving me some issues, and then I went online and took a cup quiz just to see like which one's going to be the best for me. I answered all of it, and it suggested the cup that I was using. So we shall see. We'll see what happens. I've gotten a lot of suggestions for the Flex disc. I should order those. Today's the last day of my period, so maybe next month we will revisit. But yes, brows have not been my strong suit lately. We have not been friends. So some of my fitness goals, because I have a lot of fitness goals this year. Last year, really, I was just trying to survive. I'm laughing, but like, I was trying to survive. Like, I felt like I was drowning in water like the majority of last year. I felt like I was climbing up a mountain with like just so much weight on my back and I couldn't get that far. I just felt like every step I took, like I would end up getting pushed down like 5 steps back. Which is great. You know what? It's good because I've come out on top at the end. But with that, like my fitness was mainly like I focused on my strength and moving up in weight at the gym, which was so therapeutic for my mental health. If you have a hard time, or if you have body issues, if you have, well, I guess I can't recommend this to everybody because everybody's journey is going to be different and everybody's goals are different and everybody's past experience is different. But for me specifically, focusing on wins at the gym and moving up in weight at the gym and lifting heavier was so much better for me mentally to focus on rather than like losing weight and that being like number one, because I am now, I think, the heaviest I've been. Right now, I'm super healthy. My body fat per muscle in my body is at a very healthy spot. I do have goals to continue to push that and be more lean. That's just like a personal goal. But it's just crazy to think like when I was my heaviest in the past, my heaviest on the scale in the past, I was at a very unhealthy spot in my life. Like mentally, physically, emotionally, and then to be where I am now and be like a very similar number. It's just so weird. I'm still battling with that in myself because that number has always represented something so negative with me. And so now being where I'm at and have gaining so much muscle and knowing that like my body is made up of a lot of muscle and fat, but also like mentally and emotionally and physically where I'm at, it's just so weird. Cool too. Like I have so many mixed emotions with it, but it's very crazy to know, just to know that information. I don't know. So for fitness, I have come to such a good, peaceful place. It's very hard for me to do my eyebrows and talk about this at the same time. Now that I've come to this place of like, I don't know, just where I'm at physically and like with my fitness, I have some goals that I'm ready to tackle because last year, that pretty much whole year was me just trying to like survive, get through it, and like whatever. So now I'm to a place where I'm like, I am so at peace with myself and I'm ready to like tackle these fitness goals. So where's my phone? Where did I put it? So I wrote down, I want, number one, I want to be able to do a push-up like a badass. I want to be like, you know what I mean? You ever see those girls and they do a push-up and they're just like, That's what I want. By the end of this year, I'm going to do that. I'm so excited. I told my trainer today and I'm already doing them like a wuss. So I'm excited. I want shoulder caps. I want visible shoulder caps. And I wrote down visible abs. Really, I want visible abs only when I flex. You know what I mean? I want to be like, oh yeah, oh, I got abs. Right now you can feel them in there, but you can't see them. So I want to be able to show my hard work. And then number wise, I want to be able to squat 150 pounds and I want to be able to deadlift 210. Which is crazy because when I went in, before I started working with my trainer, the highest I'd ever done on a deadlift was I think 130, and right now I can do 185. Some of my goals for here on YouTube, I do want to continue with the vlogs. I really have been enjoying them. I've got some great vlog ideas and ways to like execute doing vlogs. Another thing that I really want to work on this year with work is posting on Like to Know It. I just really need to get better at that. Here's the thing. I talk with Amanda about this all the time. We want to be that bitch. Just on top of it, linking stuff. I never want to come across that I'm just like trying to sell stuff. And sometimes people give off that vibe. When you're only posting and linking stuff, I'm sorry, but I'm turned off and I probably won't be watching your content because to me, I don't know. I get it though, because truthfully, like anytime I share anything at all, my DMs are filled with link. Do you have a link for that? Share the link, blah, blah, blah. So I get it because people are asking for it. But from an outside perspective, if someone's only sharing links to things, I'm just turned off. So I don't know. I need to figure out a balance with that because I want to link stuff because I know you guys want links for things, but also I want it to like not be like all I'm doing is sharing links, you know? So just trying to find like a balance with that is something that I want to do this year, because currently I'm not sharing pretty much anything on Like to Know It. So also it would be beneficial for me financially to do that, obviously. So just trying to figure that out and making it a goal of, like, my goal has always been to post on there once a day. Some of these girls are out there posting like 3 times a day or more. And that's actually, I talked with a manager one time and they said that that was like ideal, is 3 times a day. And I'm like, y'all, I post like once a month, if that. So yeah, gotta figure that out. And yeah, just continuing with like keeping my content very versatile here with things that I'm into, which in turn I know that you guys are probably into. I really want to read more this year. I've actually just started a book. Also, a huge goal of mine, like it has risen to like top of the priority list, is my podcast. You guys have been asking and asking and asking, and I'm so glad that you guys like it so much. I'm working on the obstacles. For a while I was just like, oh yeah, that is something I want to do, and then just like wouldn't do much about it. But I'm working through the things that need to be worked through. But it sounds like my sister is going to do it with me, kind of like a semi-podcast host. So I'm pretty sure we still have to talk about it and go through all of the logistics, but it sounds like it'll still be like my podcast, but she'll be on it like a lot of the time. So I need to send her a microphone and stuff. But I really want to rename my podcast. And here's why. I do like the name, I Don't Know What I'm Doing, but I've always kind of wrestled with the fact that it is kind of negative and gives off a negative, just a semi-negative vibe. And for me, I just don't want that. I don't want anything that's like attached to my name to be like in a negative light, even though it's really not that serious. But for me, I don't know. So I wanted to change the name, and I'm just kind of wrestling with a few ideas. Nothing has really stuck. So if you have any good ideas for a name, please let me know. It's so funny because anytime I ask for recommendations, a lot of the recommendations have to do with beauty for some reason. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense on podcasting. Like, it's all audio, and it's, I guess like the basis of the podcast is just like girl chats to talk about like anything and everything. And like, my sister and I have so many good, really deep conversations. So it's kind of like documenting those deep conversations. So, and we're both kind of on like a similar journey within ourselves. So that kind of gives you an idea of like what the vibe is. So if you can think of any good ideas, let me know, because I'm kind of stuck. And that's one of the things that's holding us back. I think the reason why it just didn't go the way that I had planned last year was because once I started going through lots of changes and lots of things was literally right when I started my podcast. I had actually already started feeling off before I started the podcast, and then when I started it, it almost like accentuated the fact that I like wasn't doing well. I feel like it needs a rebrand, because for me, when I think about the podcast right now, I think about like being in a dark time, and that's not what I want to think of when I think of the podcast. I just feel like I'm ready for just the next chapter, and I'm ready for some change from what the podcast used to be. And I feel like I've already started to make those changes, and I'm in this next chapter, and I'm just wanting something new and fresh from what that was, because right now when I think about it, that's what I think of more negative things, and I don't want that. So if you have any ideas for names, please share them down below. This has just been my jam, by the way. This is the Ethereal Eyes palette from Makeup by Mario. And this shade specifically, I don't even use the matte shades. I use the matte shades from his other palette. And then I use that one shade right there. And I've been using that as like, it's been like my main look all month long. And I just love it. It looks so pretty, especially like under the lights. Just so beautiful. I'm excited to go to the gym. I'm taking this cardio class, which I have not taken since I had my migraine. Also really want to get better with my nighttime routine. I have my morning routine like it's routine. It is set in stone. I love it. I also want to add on to it actually and do, when I have my morning coffee, I would like to do a morning walk with my coffee and with my dog, just to get outside first thing and move first thing. Even though I do go to the gym right away in the morning, I would like to like walk instead of just like sitting on my couch, you know? So that's something I want to change about the morning routine, but I just don't really have a nighttime routine, and I'd like to, well, I do. My nighttime routine is to just like sit and watch movies with Ruben and shows, which isn't bad. I'd like that to be a more special thing, you know, rather than an every night thing. So I'd like to get into the habit of like doing a nighttime shower, doing my nighttime skincare routine, then getting into bed and reading a book and like, oh, I want to do that. Let me know what you think about this, kind of like circling back to fitness goals. The push-up thing, I kind of want to do like a 50 push-ups a day for a month. Maybe not in January, but maybe February could be a good month to do that, because number one, it's a shorter month, but also can give us time to mentally prep for it. But, and also January already started. But yeah, I think that could be a fun way to like, and not all at once, but just to like break it up, like 10 here, 10 there, 10 there, and just kind of make that a goal to get in 50 total for the day. I think that would be fun and a good way for me to work towards my badassery with my push-ups. What you think? You want to join me? You want to do it? I think that'd be fun. It's so funny, like when I started my channel, I started with makeup obviously, but I've always had this vision of myself being like your go-to girl for health and wellness, and I've always struggled with it personally. And I finally come to a place where I feel confident in certain things, and I'm still questioning other things and learning and changing, whatever. But I feel like I'm finally like at a point where it's like, okay, let's share it. Even if I'm not an expert, let's just share, because I've always wanted to be that, you know? So, I don't know, just funny. Like growing up, I was into dance and stuff, and my mom would do like at-home videotape workouts, and I would always do them with her. I always loved it, and it's just funny because when I think about that, I'm like, oh wow, that really has always been a part of me. I've always enjoyed working out and taking care of myself in that way. So, but then as like my channel has grown in the makeup area, I've just never felt like good enough to share fitness content because I'm not an expert. It's easier for me to talk about makeup because I know it like the back of my hand, and it's so customizable. Like there's no right or wrong with makeup, where I do feel like there is some right and wrong with fitness, like with technique and like advising others on things. But I guess it is kind of similar in like what works for you doesn't always work for me. So I can just share my journey and it can be fine, but it is a little scary, and I felt like just like, who am I to be sharing that sort of thing? So I need to get out of that. That is something I'm still struggling with when it comes to that category. But yeah, I need to just get out of my own head with that. Time for lips. I kind of want to try something new. I saw Amanda wear this like glossy pink lip, and I want to try to emulate that today. So we're going to try it. I've got Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury that I'm going to line my lips and make it a little closer. Instead of lipstick or anything, I'm just going to go into this Jaclyn Cosmetics Rosé Drip lip gloss and just pop that on top of it. Ooh, that's a lot. Ooh. That was a little much. I need to get some of this off. I'm going to tap a little bit of Black Honey from Clinique. Give me a little bit of color. Just take these out. So that is the final look. I will link everything down below in the description box. I know I didn't really talk about the products that I was using, but if you watch my channel, this is pretty much the same thing that I like always do. Except I have been using that Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette a lot more recently. So, but yeah, I like this look. It's very just like quick, natural, easy. It took me 30, I guess it's taken me an hour. I've been talking your ear off this whole time, so, but normally this takes me like 25 minutes to do. But yeah, I am excited for this new year. I'm excited for just like where I am mentally. I feel like I have such a very clear mind, and this is the most like at peace that I have felt going into the new year. And I'm excited for all of the content that I'm going to be bringing you this year. I feel like I feel the most confident that I've ever felt in content creation, which is so weird to say because I feel like technically if you're looking at like views and how videos have performed in the past, I feel like like you would think that I would be more confident then, but just right now I just feel more comfortable in who I am as a person. And so this is so deep for content creation, but because of that, I feel like I just enjoy the content that I'm creating more now, more than ever. So that's exciting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all of your feedback on Instagram and for any feedback that you give me on this video. I can't wait to read the comments and just, I'd like to know where you are at mentally. Like, what are your goals for the new year? What are your intentions? What's your word for the next year? What are you looking forward to seeing from me in this new year? What content do you want to see from me? What do you like that I'm doing? And also, I forgot to even mention this. I wanted to say thank you for all of the love on my 2022 struggles video. That was, I can't believe I totally forgot to even mention that until now at the end, but here we are. When I was creating that video, I knew exactly what I wanted to put in it. I knew what the whole theme of it was going to be. It was very like, this was my year. But as I was putting it out, I had the tightest butt cheeks because I was just so nervous. But just your feedback on that literally had me sobbing. So I just want to say thank you for all of your feedback. It really means so much to me. And another goal of mine is to just be more transparent with you this year. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Happy New Year, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.